Hello everyone, this is Anson from AnsonAlex.com and welcome back to my 2014 video series on using Google Drive. In the last video I provided an overview and an introduction to what Google Drive actually is, and in this video we're going to talk about the user interface and where everything's located within Google Drive. So when you log into Google Drive at drive.google.com, this is the screen you're brought to. This is the Google Drive homepage. And from here we can create documents, we can manage all of our documents, we can share documents, we can create shared folders, do all sorts of things with our files here in Google Drive. So I'm just going to go over all of the links on this page and where everything's located. So if we start up here at the top left, you'll notice that the big red Create button is the button that allows you to create documents, and you can also create folders from here to put your documents into. Later on in the video series, we're actually going to create some documents. We're going to create some folders. I'm going to talk about document organization, but in this video I just want to let you know where everything is. So this is where you can create all of your documents and your folders from the Create button. The button next to the Create button is the Upload button. So this is where you can upload files that are currently on your computer that you want to store in Google Drive. Maybe you want to transfer them to somebody else. You can upload them to Google Drive and then share the file with whoever you want to share it with. Down here below the Create and the Upload button, we have a number of different links that help us organize all of our files here in Google Drive. So by default, we're in the My Drive section, and all of the documents that you create are going to be listed over here in My Drive. If we create a new document, it'll just come to the top of our list here, and we'll be able to see everything within our drive. You can see I also have a folder here in My Drive. So if I were to create a folder, and we'll just do that real quick, we'll just call it New Folder, you'll notice that it shows up here in My Drive at the top of my list. To the left of the My Drive link, we also have a little arrow which we can click to show the folders that are in My Drive. So if you have a bunch of folders, you'll be able to see them all on the left side of your screen here. The link that says Shared with Me contains documents that other people have shared with you. By default, those documents are just located in the Shared with Me section, but you can click and you can drag the document into My Drive if you want to actually see that document from the My Drive section as well. The starred section is where documents that are starred will be located. So in My Drive, you'll notice we have this list of documents here. We could click the star next to a particular document, and then when we click on starred, it's going to show up in that section, as well as My Drive. It doesn't move it out of My Drive. It just also puts it in the starred section. It's kind of like starring an email in Gmail. We also have the recent section, which I work from a lot. This shows all of your recent documents, the ones that have been recently opened. As you can see way over here on the right, it's sorted by last opened by me. We can tell because that column is highlighted in red. We also have the trash down here at the bottom. That's pretty self-explanatory. Those are documents that you've deleted. After 30 days, those documents will be permanently deleted from your Google Drive account. In the More section, we have a couple other options for us to take a look at. We can look at all of the items in our Google Drive account. So this includes all the items that are shared with you and the ones that are in My Drive. And then we can also look at offline. These are files that are stored offline using the Drive Chrome web app. So this would be for documents that you might want to work on when you don't have an internet connection. You can enable offline editing. There's a little bit of a process that you have to go through to do that, which I can talk about later on in this video series. But for now, just know that if you need to access your offline documents, that's where they're going to be. Let's go ahead and go back to My Drive while we move to a few other parts of our Google Drive interface here. Before I go to the right side of the screen, I want to talk about this search bar in the top because this is a really powerful tool. As you use Google Drive, you can organize your documents into folders, you can create hierarchies like you would on a normal computer, but at the same time you can also make use of this search feature, which is a super powerful feature. If you can't find a document here in Google Drive by going through your folders and different sections over here on the left, you can always try and type the name of the document up here at the top. So if I was looking for the financial document, I could type financial, and you'll notice as I type it, it starts to drop down a list of the documents I might be looking for. If I don't see the one I want here, I can just click search, and it will search all the documents to find the one that have financial, to find the ones that have financial in the name. Now at the same time, you'll notice that there's a little drop down over here to the right of Google Drive search, which gives us some advanced search options. So we could search financial for all documents, or maybe only documents that are PDFs or spreadsheets or text documents. So you can drill down a little bit with your search. You can also drill down by visibility. I want to search all documents that have the word financial in the title that are not shared. So that would only show the ones that are not shared. Or if I wanted to just look at the documents that are owned by me or not owned by me, I could do that as well. So definitely make use of this search feature here in Google Drive. On the right side of our screen, we have a few more options. At the very top here, this is the main Google toolbar. So all of these options will follow you throughout Google. The plus Anson will give you access to your Google Plus account. So we can close out of that for now. The little square icon here gives access to the other Google applications like Gmail, YouTube, Maps, that sort of thing. We can see our notifications here. Generally, those are from Google Plus. We could share a Google Plus post right from within here, and we could take a look at our profile and our account settings by clicking on the little silhouette up here in the top right. That's not really specific to Google Drive, but I figured I would cover it. You'll notice that the icons down here below the main toolbar, we've got two types of views that we can use here in Google Drive. We can have our documents viewed in list view, which is the default view that we see here. Or let me go back to my Drive so we see all my documents. Or I could switch the view to the grid view, and you'll notice they just kind of look like icons. I personally prefer the list view because we can see some information here in our columns. We can see who the owner is when it's last modified, and we have more space to see more documents. So it's up to you. That's obviously a personal preference, but you do have those two different options. You'll notice that there's also this little info button, and this is the activity button here in Google Drive. So if we're in my Drive, and notice I don't have any documents selected. If I click on the info button, it's going to provide some information about the activity within the My Drive section of Google Drive. So you can see I edited an item, I uploaded an item, I moved some items to the trash. This is the entire activity within this folder. Now, if I click on one of these documents, let's say I just click on Anson Alex shared test, my activity window changes to be activity that's specific to this document. So I mentioned in the last video that one of the main benefits of Google Drive is people's ability to collaborate, share documents, and work together on things in Google Drive. With this activity view, you can see what other people are doing. So if Joe Schmo came in and edited this Anson Alex shared test file, I would see in this activity that, hey, Joe Schmo edited the file. Then I could click the file, open it up, and see what changes he made. So definitely want to keep an eye on the activity section over here, especially if you are sharing files and collaborating with other users. Notice that there's two tabs here in activity. We've got activity, which shows us the actions that have happened on this file. And then details just give us a little bit more information about this file, what the visibility is. And we're going to talk about sharing files more detailed later on in this video series. But we can see that Anson Alexander has shared the file as well as another Anson Alexander account. And we can see who the owner is, who has edit permissions, who just has view permissions. We could add a description to this file if we wanted to for other people to see. We can see what folders it is in. And then we also have some general information, when it was last modified and when it was last opened by me. So definitely keep an eye on this activity section here in Google Drive. I'm going to close that out for now, and I'm going to click on this gear icon over here to the right because that's where you can get a whole lot of other settings here in Google Drive. We can change our display density. So right now it's in comfortable, which means our documents are kind of spaced out. If we switch it to say compact, you'll notice that they scrunch together a little bit. This is great for people who have a lot of documents in Google Drive and want to be able to see all of those documents in one view. You would want to change your display density here in Google Drive. We can also edit our Google Drive settings from here. We can change our upload settings. So do we want to automatically convert documents when we upload them or not? Again, we'll go into more detail on that when I talk about specifically uploading files here in this Google Drive 2014 video series. Here in Google Drive, you can add apps to your account. So you can add drawing programs and different type of applications that do different things that are beyond the core basics that Google provides. So if you had apps in here, you could manage them, you could delete them from here. If you want to take a look at the Google Drive keyboard shortcuts, there are a lot of them. You could click on the keyboard shortcuts link. And if you're looking for some additional help, you can click on this link and it will take you to Google's Google Drive help section. The last thing I want to talk about, well, there's two things I want to talk about here in the user interface video of Google Drive. First of all is notice that when we're looking at our documents, I mentioned these columns earlier, we can sort by these columns. So if I click on title, notice if you click on the arrow below either owner or last modified, you have some other options here. So we could say, I want to see my files by last edited by me. The owner field changes and now I can see when they were last edited by me. I could always change that back to owner if I wanted to. So you've got some sorting options here just from the column headings here in Google Drive. Now let's go ahead and let's actually hit the checkbox next to one of these documents. You'll notice when I do that, I have some options that appear up here at the top, and these are options for me to perform an action on this document. So the first one is I could share this document, and again, there's going to be a video solely dedicated to sharing here in my 2014 Google Drive video series, so we'll talk about that in that video. I could also move this document to a folder by clicking on the Move To button. I could delete this document by clicking on the trash can, or I could preview the document by clicking on the eye symbol, which won't open the document up for me to edit it, but it will show me a quick snippet of what is contained within this document. I'm just going to click out of that. And then you'll notice that we have this more options here, where we have a whole bunch of other options to perform an action on our document here in Google Drive. So we can open it in Google Docs, we can share it here, we can add a star from it, we can look at the details and activity, move it, we can rename it from here, a whole bunch of things. If you want to see this same menu, you don't have to click on the More dropdown. You can also right-click on a document here in Google Drive. So go ahead and play around, start creating some documents, start getting comfortable with the user interface here in Google Drive. The next video in this series is going to talk about actually creating documents and spreadsheets here in Google Drive, so stay tuned for that. I hope this video was helpful. I've got about 16, 17 more videos coming up in this 2014 Google Drive video series. So if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, remember to do that. And if this video was helpful, I would really appreciate a thumbs up here on YouTube. That's all I have for you for right now. This is Anson from AnsonAlex.com.